Yes.
Greetings and salutations.
We're live again.
It's a wonderful night to be here for the greatest film we've ever. No, I'm just kidding. Not the greatest film, but an amazing film. A lot of personal ties for me. I have a lot on this movie, the backstory, all of it. But yeah, we're talking about Shelby Oaks today. Let's get that right off the rip.
Shelby.
Back. We're back. We're all back. Mac is back. The Mac is back. Return of the Mac. I wish we could play that song, but we can't be right.
Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac. He's back. We got Bella, as always.
The Queen.
And then we got my son / father, Deontay.
At the same time.
How does that work?
How does that work? I don't know. We haven't figured that one out yet. But yeah, here we are.
We made a deal with Tarian, and Tarian arranged it for us, apparently. All hail Tarian.
When you say Tarian, you think of the Tarian Arnold, the cornerback for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, man.
He's not
named
very
after
good.
a demon.
Not good at all.
Damn.
But yes. We're back to talk about Shelby Oaks. We already did the intro, so I don't have to remember that.
Oh yeah, I like that feature of StreamYard.
Yeah, because I would have totally forgot my intro again because I always forget. But yeah, so Shelby Oaks time, I guess. No, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to set this up because there's so much here that's kind of hard to tee it up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm still not back in the podcasting game. I'm just still rust, man. I'm just so rusty. Shelby Oaks. Shelby Oaks.
Shelby Oaks.
Yeah. So yeah, film directed by Chris Stuckmann, YouTuber. See horror movies in theaters. Yep.
That's the man.
My boy, YouTuber. Produced by Neon, executive produced by everybody's favorite Mike Flanagan.
Mike Flanny.
One of the new horror kings, you could say. Yeah, it's his first film, written and directed. Well, not his first. I guess his first theatrically released film, technically. He has a few shorts, or he did on YouTube. I don't know if he took them off or not, but I watched them when they came out. But yeah, so Shelby Oaks, kind of a hot topic lately. I've been seeing on the internet a lot of people talking about this movie and circles that normally I'm not seeing a bunch of people talking about this type of movie. I've just didn't talk about. So
yeah, between this and Welcome to Derry, my algorithms is nothing but horror stuff right now.
Yeah, it's a good time. I mean, Halloween's over, but
is it?
But
that's true. Halloween is never over. It's hanging up behind me. Oh, I got it right this time. Look at that.
The accurate point. Hell yeah.
That was so good. That was so crisp, so smooth. Proud of myself.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
The babe.
we I'm trying to how should I tee this up?
How do you know Chris Stuckmann?
Chris Stuckmann. I don't personally know him. But in a way, you could say he was kind of my role model in some ways when it comes to what this is. I just definitely, without a doubt, there wouldn't be no Jacob's Film Perspectives without Chris Stuckmann easily. I owe my career to him and the Flick Pick. Those are the two YouTubers. John Flickinger, the Flick Pick. Two YouTubers I started watching back in 2015, 2016. So about a decade ago now, when I was in high school. When I started to get I grew up watching movies, but I was more of a sports person. If you could believe that. I was more of a sporty guy. I was more into hunting and fishing as well, more of an outdoorsy type person. And then once I started to get into the movies, and like wanting to do something with that, I started watching them. I just went on YouTube and I don't even know how I can't even remember the first video I watched of them, but I found both of them because they used to collab a lot, and found both of them that way on YouTube. I don't know what movie it was, but it was 2016, and yeah, just started watching them, and then I like binged a bunch of their videos for like months my senior year of high school, and because of that, I was like, hey, people are doing this quite a bit. Because I didn't really know talking about movies was like a cool thing you could do on the internet, I guess, because this is back in the not early days of internet, but still kind of in that weird area where like TikTok wasn't a lot, it wasn't even made yet. Vine had died, I think, at that point. I think Vine was canceled by that point.
Oh,
Rest
yeah.
in peace. Yeah.
Kind of a weird time for social media and media in general. So I was like, oh, people can talk about movies on YouTube. There's a whole community. I was like, this is wild. And then, so I created my own Instagram page. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it was called Real Movie Reviews. Very, very, very unique, Jacob. Wow.
Very unique, Jacob. Yeah.
I had one of my childhood friends create my first graphic. I posted my first review was Star Wars Rogue One.
Ooh, solid.
I had tons of people like really respond to that at my high school. I was kind of like it's kind of like a cool thing in my high school. It was like, oh, Jacob reviews movies now. And people would come up to me and be like, hey, man, I really liked your review. And I was like, oh, my gosh, I love this. So then I started becoming the movie guy in my senior year of high school where, like, I had this page and it just like everybody, it's kind of like just my high school, really, small high school. So it wasn't like anything huge. But everybody would come to me like, hey, when are you going to see this movie? So I know if I want to spend money on it or not. And, like, it was just that type of thing. So I started doing that. That page lasted 2 years, something like that, till like 2018. And then I just did written reviews on Instagram, just posted them on Instagram, just took the movie poster, very simple, very basic. If you go back and read, well, you can't read them because I deleted the whole account, thankfully, because I gave a lot of movies an A plus back then. I was like this movie's amazing, A plus. I gave like the Power Rangers movie like an A plus or something like that.
That's great.
It was like I definitely did not have my chops yet in the film world. I mean, I hadn't even gone to college yet, so I did that, and then started my second page. Ralph Reviews It, like Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph.
My middle name is Ralph, so I did like a play on that. It's very stupid, I know. But
Jacob Ralph Smith. That's how. I probably shouldn't have said it on live, but
yeah, that's a government name. But yeah, I did Ralph Reviews It, and I created my own icon. I was wearing my Iron Man helmet I had, and just like I did my own icon myself. And I just kind of did I just started posting regular written reviews, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go on YouTube now. I was like, this is where I want to start. So I created a YouTube, and I made quite a few YouTube reviews where like I had like bits where like I have a Batman figurine that's like probably, I don't know, a foot tall or something, and it's over here on the shelf. I would grab it, but I'm too lazy, and it's probably dusty. And I set it up and did like I was doing like skits with it and like doing dumb skits to like start. I was wearing like weird. I wore the Zoolander headband at some point from the movie Zoolander for one movie. And then I always had these iconic intros that like everybody was laughing at. I remember it was just kind of like a funny bit I did on YouTube, and then I did that for a while, and then I got tired of the editing and like it took a day to upload a video, and it was just like, what is happening? I was like, I'm tired of this. So then I canceled that as well during like the pandemic era.
Yeah.
I think during the 2020 was my last video of that, and then I canceled that, and then 2 years later, JFP was born. All that to say, if it wasn't for Chris Stuckmann and the flick pick, I got to give the flick pick his due too, because he was probably my favorite. Him and Chris Stuckmann go back and forth, but they're the ones that inspired me the most. None of these episodes would exist. None of this would exist without. I probably wouldn't have met Bella. You know, I probably and I wouldn't have met Deontay probably. I mean, a lot of this, you know, I don't want to get like too butterfly effect crazy with it, but like a lot of this probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Chris Stuckmann and the flick pick. So like I owe this man a lot. So it's hard for me to not be biased. But I did go in biased because as the years progressed, you know, he kind of changed his channel where he doesn't negatively review movies anymore. He started that because he was working on this film. And so that's one of the controversies around this movie is people just don't like him because of that switch he made where he's like, I'm only going to talk positively about movies. And that was kind of a controversy for some reason. He did this like in 2021, I want to say, and it was a big controversy. He lost a lot of subscribers because they're like, he's fake. He's not, you know, because he's trying to be good to the industry. And I mean, I understand if you want to be YouTube was never his main goal. He always wanted to be a filmmaker first. So I understand not wanting to like basically diss you. Who could you be your peers later in life? Like, I get it, but constructive criticism is good also. So I can get the other side of that. But yeah, I mean, he chose what he chose to do. I still watch every one of his videos. I still watch. I'm still a loyal fan a decade later. I think he's a really great person. I don't think he's fake at all. He just gets a lot of internet hate. And that's, I think, some of the bad reviews for this movie and some of like, especially in the horror community I've been seeing is because people just don't like him as a person. They're not really judging the movie. They're judging the person behind it. And it's one of those things where it should, and that's a good thing to do in some cases because some directors are very nasty, scummy, like having producers, Harvey Weinstein, you know, Weinstein, all them. Like, I mean, that makes sense. But like with this, all he did was switch up how he reviewed movies. So it's just like, it's kind of silly to me that people were tanking this movie because they don't like him because of that. Like, I don't know. He's always seemed like a genuine person to me. Don't know him personally. I want to say maybe I had he responded a DM I sent him once, possibly. That may have been another YouTuber. Some YouTuber did that. I can't remember. It's been so long. But so, yeah, I don't know him personally. Maybe talked to him once. Can't remember. But yeah, this is what he's always wanted to do. I remember when he started the Kickstarter for that, because this is the most money ever made by a horror film on Kickstarter. It broke records. Over $1 million it raised because of his subscribers. And I think just as a content creator and obviously a movie podcast, it's hard not to root for the guy because he basically did what we all want to do in some capacity and made it work. Like he took his fan base that he built. Like he didn't, you know, he worked years. He started in 2009. I mean, he grinded for this. And he took those subscribers and he didn't force them to give him money. They just supported him.
Yeah.
And then Neon came, bought it, you know, and then Mike Flanagan came on to executive produce, which he actually met Mike Flanagan because he reviewed Oculus back in the day, and they started talking because of that. And then Mike Flanagan came on. Neon gave him an extra $1 million to do a few reshoots. It's still about, I think it's like $2.5 million or something is like the estimated complete budget, which is still very low for a wide theatrical release film, even horror. That's really low. And yeah, we'll talk about how that worked out, but I just wanted to give that kind of setup as to like where this came from and where this movie came from, and also how it influenced me as well, because I do have a very personal tie to this. Because also, if it wasn't for watching his videos and the flick pick, they introduced me to so many movies. I don't think I would have changed. I didn't even start college as a film major. Like I started environmental science was my original major. And then it was wildlife biology actually. And then environmental science. So I was never going to do this as like anything serious. I never took it seriously. I was just kind of, I just write little reviews. And then seeing how they were able to just like grow this career out of movies, and then them introducing me to all these movies just really inspired me, where I was like, I kind of want to actually get in the filmmaking side of this now. And then I switched my major my sophomore year of college, I want to say. And then, yeah, I'm here. I have a film degree. I have a film podcast.
Hey.
I met Mac in college because of that. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I just really inspirational, honestly. Just really inspirational in a lot of ways. And that's my personal tie to that whole, I just want to get that out of the way. That's my personal ties. I owe them a lot, but I'm still going to be very as unbiased as I can be on this movie for sure. Oh, please don't, Mother. Please don't.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, because I wiped them. I wiped everything from the internet. Like you can't find Ralph reviews that I wiped it all because it's like, oh my god, because it was like me. I was probably 18, 19 making these videos, and I was just so cringy, and rough. But you got to start somewhere. But yeah, hopefully. I hope this movie I saw made back its budget for sure in the first 72 hours, I think, or something like that. I saw the producer post that. So that's great. So hopefully this movie is a success and we see more. I mean, we've already seen some, like the Philippou brothers with Talk to Me and Bring Her Back. So we have seen YouTubers. There's a YouTuber did like the Backrooms videos. He's like the youngest director A24 has ever hired. So like we're seeing content creators get into this film space, and it's just a whole new world. Like it's really opening up,
letting the floodgates for all these future filmmakers.
Yeah, and I mean in a way, I'm basically following Chris Stuckmann's blueprint. So obviously, I did not successfully do a YouTube channel because I deleted it completely. But I have this podcast, so and I do my little paid reviews.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of, I just wanted to start that off because that's kind of my personal tie to this, and I feel like some people would be curious about that because I kind of said in my out of theater, I think I said in my out of theater reaction that they inspired me and it was personal. So I just kind of wanted to give the whole backstory there so people know where I'm coming from on this. Be transparent.
I love that.
But yeah, we are here to talk about it. And it's amazing, and I can't believe it's actually out. Like I said, it started 2021 is when he started to mention it. 2022 is actually when he shot it. I remember when the Kickstarter came out. I am kicking myself. I mean, that's a good play on words. Kickstarter, kicking myself. God,
hey.
I'm horrible.
Mars.
But anyway, yeah. At the time, I was in college. I had way too much money to be spending other places, so I could not. I didn't have the extra funds to give into the Kickstarter, which I'm sad about because I really wish I could have done that. Because, like the Kickstarters, like they put if you do a certain tier, your name got in the credits. I know Neon sent out a poster with all the names of the Kickstarters on it, and like so, like if you're a Kickstarter, you got stuff back for like supporting this movie, like there's quite a few people I saw in the credits, their names in the credits that are fellow content creators that I've actually like kind of followed too, that I've seen. So like, that's pretty cool to see in like a movie theater, seeing their names too. And the Neon poster was really cool. I saw, and just like all that's just pretty awesome.
It's very futuristic, man. I love the way Neon promotes their movies, and A24 is pretty good at it too.
Yeah, Neon did amazing with the marketing. Definitely helped this movie for sure. Just getting it out there, the word out there, because I mean that's all I've seen from Neon posting lately. Is just all Shelby Oaks stuff, and so yeah. But yeah, he shot this film. He didn't know they actually went into production without the Kickstarter money completely in. So like he didn't even know that he was going to make $1 million. He started shooting it, and then as the $1 million came, then, you know, better effects. He started to hire more actors, got more locations. And I remember every week he would post an update back in the, like I followed this movie religiously, like all of his videos posted. He's like, because Keith David in this movie, I remember when he picked Keith David, his little cameo. He's like, I can't believe we got him. And then I just remember all the little stuff that came out. I've followed this movie for 3 years now. And yeah, like the girl that plays Riley, I don't know the actress's name.
The actress name is, let's see, the actress that played Riley Brennan is Sarah Dern.
Yeah, it was her. She actually came on before even the Kickstarter blew up. Like, she was one of the earliest actresses on there. It was her and the rest of the Paranormal Paranoids crew, and they basically went out, and it was just them and Chris Stuckmann, and they took a camcorder, and that's what they did first, was they shot the found footage aspect of this movie first, and then he even edited it on his like old Apple computer that he had from like 2007 to make it more realistic to that early YouTube days. And like, I mean, this was very ground roots type of filmmaking here. And the actress that plays Mia didn't come on until after the Kickstarter, I'm pretty sure. And then
is Camille Sullivan.
Camille Sullivan, who's really great in the movie. She came on at the Kickstarter, and then I think they got a few more people, but then, I mean, they shot it, and they didn't know this was going to be picked up by Neon. They didn't know Mike Flanagan was going to executive produce it. I mean, it just happened at a film festival that it got purchased. But, I mean, they kind of had faith in Chris, and it turns out really well for them, it looks like. But, I mean, that's kind of how this thing came about with the Kickstarter and stuff, because I know a lot of people were kind of like, oh, this YouTuber made this movie, or it's just a YouTube movie. But like, there's like, he put a lot of steps, and there's like a lot of work he put into this. Like I said, I followed all his videos he posted for years, and you know, getting Mike Flanagan on, Neon buying it, that was pretty difficult to do for sure. And like, he shot a lot of this film around his area because he lives in Ohio, so he shot around in the Ohio areas. And yeah, like I said, the found footage stuff was before Neon bought it, and he did all that without even knowing if it was ever going to get released. And actually, his original idea was to just put it on YouTube, which he did with his previous short films that he made. Is he was just going to put this on YouTube in the beginning, and then now look, it's in theaters. So like, I feel like anybody watching, that's just inspirational in general, that this guy, you know, that all this happened. Like, honestly. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of the backstory of it. I think I got the backstory down. I was trying to like remember the backstory before this podcast so I could like get it out, because there is like a lot to this before we even talk about the movie itself, just how it became made and like how everybody came in. And yeah, it was just really cool to follow. It's a really cool story to follow. I really loved it, following all the videos. Wish I could have donated Kickstarter, but I was a broke college student. I really liked him, but even he would post like videos just for his regular subscribers too. So it was really cool to see this movie in like real time being made. And like, he even gave even more behind the scenes footage to his backers on Kickstarter, and like all this cool extra perks and things. So like, he really made sure that the people that did give money to this got something out of it, and like got to see. And like, they even did Kickstarter events, Neon did, in like I think 4 different cities, and where people could come out and meet Chris and see the movie before everybody else. I mean, they really did their due diligence to like support the Kickstarters that help support the movie. Yeah, now we're here.
Hey.
So, with all that being said, I'm out of breath. I'm gonna die. What do you take it away with your experiences going into this movie? Like, were you excited for this? What was your vibe on the movie? Did you know any of that stuff I just said? Like, what was your vibe on the movie?
Bella, would you like to go first?
Sure, I can go first. Thank you for putting me on the spot, Deontay. Really.
We'll see what I.
I feel like the teacher calling me from the back of the class. Okay. So I knew a little bit about what you were talking about, Jacob, mostly because you had already told me some of it.
Mm-hmm.
You've been so excited about this movie coming out. previously I didn't know anything about it. I saw in like the trailers and stuff, like Mike Flanagan executive producing, which I think is like most people's reaction of like, oh, cool, another neon horror movie. Oh, cool, Mike Flanagan's attached to it. Oh, now I'm like paying attention. Like this looks really interesting. Wish I knew more about it because you are absolutely correct of like this is kind of a dream campaign for a film. Especially for like up and coming artists. So congrats to Stuckmann for that. Like, I think it's absolutely incredible what he was able to create with the Kickstarter and just creating his own community and network through like social media. Like that's so cool. But yeah, going into the movie, I really didn't know much about it, didn't know anything about the plot. I went in very, very fresh. And this is probably the only movie I have seen for both my show and yours that I actually stopped taking notes because I was just so glued to the screen. Like I can't say I've actually had that experience with any of the movies I have previously watched, like of the past year or so. Like typically I'm like writing the whole time I'm watching the movie. This one, I think I wrote 2 things at the very top, like in the first 20 minutes, and then I was just like so engrossed of like, where the hell is this story going? That I completely forgot to. Yeah, that was my experience going in. I don't want to spoil anything yet because I feel like we're going to end up like all collectively talking about what this movie is about. So I'll leave it at that.
Detective
So,
Bella.
Trying.
Max, you next, Daddy.
I'm next.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, fun
cool.
fact. I don't think you've ever told me that Chris Stuckmann got you. I mean, you've been mentioning it like the last few weeks or so, and then you've been egging me on to go see this movie. But I don't think you told me that Chris Stuckmann like was the reason you like changed your major and all that. I didn't even know you had. Maybe you'd mentioned this before, like a while ago, but I don't think you told me that like he's the one who like made you change your major and all that, and that you were like what'd you say, a biology or something major.
Yeah, it was wildlife biology and then environmental science.
Yeah, that does not sound like you at all. I'm glad you majored in what you majored in because this suits you a lot better, and you should do what you love. But yeah, I think I had no clue about this film. I love Mike Flanagan. I think I've been seeing a lot more movies this year since Jacob like got me into movies kind of towards the end of last year, and I started like watching them a lot more. So I've seen a lot of movies this year. I think maybe around August, maybe September, early September, late August, I finally saw like the first trailer for Shelby Oaks in theaters, and I usually am just on my phone because I've seen all the trailers at this point, but I saw this new one, and then the trailer I was just like, I think it was Keeper and this one that kind of caught my eye, and then I was just like, oh, that looks kind of scary. I was just like, but that looks, I don't know, some trailers scare me too much where I don't really want to see the movie, and I was just like, I don't think I'm going to see Shelby Oaks, which is funny because I've been getting more into horror, but and then Jacob got back to me in the last few weeks, and then he's like, go see Shelby Oaks. So I made time for it this week, and yeah, it was definitely the most unsettling film I've seen this year so far. I'll just say that. Visually pretty great too. And my favorite part is probably that intro when you see all like the credits and all that. We'll get into more of that later, but yeah.
Oh yeah. So that leaves me, I guess. Whee! Whee! All right. I had meow. I have no experience with the Chris Stuckmann content creation world, but I was scrolling through TikTok when I first saw advertisements of this, and I was like, damn, this is a good movie. So I sent it to Jacob on TikTok, not knowing like he has this extensive background with Chris, He was like, "Yeah, I'm so looking forward to this," and I was like, "Damn, this must be a huge deal," because Chris Stuckman, like, this is like his uh, biggest project as a director, and I did a little research on it. David helped out with the Kickstarter, and Mike Flanagan's name was tied to it, and of course, like a legendary, this new generation of masters in horror. Uh, I grew up with John Carpenter and Stephen King, and looking at guys like Mike Flanagan receive the torch and carry it to the finish line is like I'm kind of proud of this era of horror movies. So Shelby Oaks was fairly like a really good cast of actors I've never seen anywhere else. There's guys like Charlie Talbert. Apparently, he's got a decent fan base among them, but I've never seen him anywhere. And then there's Michael Beach, who played the detective, and of course Keith David himself. I think he played like what, the coroner or something like that, or
warden at the prison.
Warden at the prison, absolutely, yeah. And it's like, oh my god, he's probably expensive to get too. So maybe he just did join the team. I don't know, like a favor for a favor, or I don't remember exactly how he found out about Shelby Oaks and got connected to Chris, but hopefully I'll catch that in the interview or something. But that was awesome. There's not a whole lot of horror movies that you don't see Keith David in. He's kind of a legend, like Tony Todd, and I looked up to guys like them growing up. So
yeah, I mean, I think they shot one. I want to say he got Keith David. He only had him for one day. I want to say it was 1 or 2 days he only got to have him for, because obviously he's a bigger actor. But I think they shot that scene in 1 to 2 days, is what he said on his YouTube. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's not the full inspiration of why I changed my major in college. But yeah, Chris Stuckman is huge for. And I didn't even realize it until this movie came out. Like, I was looking back at like my life, and like I was like, because it felt so surreal seeing this movie in theaters to me. I was just like, this is so weird. Like, I've been watching this guy on YouTube for a decade, and now I'm watching an actual like feature film with all these people in it. Like, I was just like, what? This is so surreal. But definitely a big influence for sure, because if it wasn't for finding his channel and the Flick Pick channel, I mean, they got me into watching movies that I had never heard of or never seen, like foreign films or like classic films I've missed. And like, because growing up, I kind of, like I said, I was more of a sports, outdoors type person, so I didn't watch as many movies as a kid. I mean, I watched the classics like Sandlot, I watched Halloween, I watched, Friday the 13th. I've watched movies like that, but I didn't watch like more of like the David Finchers, the Quentin Tarantinos. I didn't really grow up on them, so they kind of got me into them, and that's kind of what pushed me. And I was like, hey, I actually want to start making films now because I love this so much. So yeah, big influence for sure. And also, I forgot to shout out his wife, Chris Stuckman's wife. It was their idea. It's co-written by her. He does a Halloween special every year for his YouTube channel, and he always used to, and now he just reviews horror movies like every year, just like different horror movies, classics and stuff he likes. Used to, he'd have like a skit for every like Halloween special. He had like an opening skit for each special. He doesn't do that anymore, probably because he's too busy. But this started as like an opening skit for one of those Halloween specials that him and his wife, they went out to a cabin in Ohio for a weekend, and they wanted to they were trying to come up with ideas for what they could shoot for their, I think it was one of the earlier Halloween specials, maybe 2014, 2015, in that area. And this idea, so basically this idea has been like a decade old idea too, where it's like they came up with this at that cabin, and then because he writes a lot of scripts now, and this is one of those scripts that just got picked up. And yeah. And I guess we can get into the movie now, like the plot and stuff.
Yay!
I mean, it starts found footage, and it's a good blend. Overall, this movie is a good blend of different type of mediums of film, found footage, and then just your regular cinematic narrative storytelling. And I love how it was edited and put together. And it's about this YouTube investigation people called the Paranormal Paranoids, and they were like early 2008, I think, is when they disappeared. So like 2000, the early days of YouTube, which that was also kind of nostalgic too, seeing the old YouTube and how it used to look, because I remember those days watching YouTube as a kid. And then they just kind of disappear one day. They go missing. They're not found. And then 12 years later, the sister of the main girl, Riley Brennan is the main girl. The sister, Mia.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, just randomly, this guy comes up to her door one day, and basically, because it sets off a chain of events where she goes to try to find her missing sister that's been missing for 12 years at that point. And it's kind of this investigative mystery. She's going through the tapes that she finds, and then, going around trying to find her sister. And it's based off of Chris's own personal experience, because he grew up as a Jehovah's Witness faith, and when he was 12, he states this a lot in interviews. So I think, he was 12. His sister was like excommunicated from the religion or whatever, and it's kind of like an Amish thing where they get like shunned, and like, so he didn't see his sister for about 20 years. I think it wasn't until he was like in his early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, when he finally got to see her again once he left the religion himself. And he said he didn't realize at the time of writing, but that's kind of baked in there, like somebody telling you that this person is gone, they don't exist anymore. And then like you just not giving up and wanting to have that connection and find your sibling again. So that's kind of where that idea came from, he said. And I think that's an interesting backstory for that. But yeah, that's basically the setup of the movie. And like, I mean, we can get into it. What do you guys want us to talk about first of Shelby Oaks? Everybody's quiet.
No one's gonna see that. I can't. I'm so sorry. I have a bunch of sirens going by my window right now.
They're looking for you, girl.
They're trying to find me. So I kind of want to go back to what you were saying about like the different mediums that they were using, because I can't recall ever watching a horror movie that fully made me believe I was watching a documentary. There were moments where I was like, I think I'm in the right theater, but where am I? Because they so thoroughly commit to the bit of that. I was like feeling all of the nostalgia of all of like the YouTubers. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with Sam and Colby, but like my best friend growing up was obsessed with that YouTube page, and it's very similar to like what the Paranormal Paranoids are doing with their YouTube channel, of like they're going into all of these haunted spaces and stuff. Oh no, we lost Mac.
Mac will be back. I know it.
Mac will be back.
We'll be back. But I felt like they did such a good job of really capturing that fandom of like paranormal YouTubers from that era, and why we enjoy watching them, and like going into like these spooky places, and like all of the controversies that they bring up when they like Paranormal Paranoids disappear, which is like a part of the whole plot, and like partially why they're even making the documentary where they're interviewing the older sister. It's like people think it's a hoax, and yet again, I'm like, I remember so many different conspiracy theories of like YouTubers doing things just for the ploys or just for views and stuff, and like just how much drama that whole culture like spiraled. Like, yeah, something about that just really like lit me up in the theater. I was so excited to watch somebody capture what is our generation's like fear base, if you will. So yeah, loved that. I also thought when we have the guy come up to the door and he kills himself, and then the whole medium just shifts into like that very cinematic, very Mike Flanagan kind of style and aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I was so hooked.
Oh.
I was so hooked. I was like the most interesting, visually stimulating, narratively interesting story I think I've seen in a very long time. Like just across the board, they made so many excellent choices in constructing this story. Like 10 out of 10, no notes. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. I really love it. I think it's like definitely going to be in like my top horror viewings of the year. Like, I really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Mac, what do you think?
I'm sorry. I cut out, so what did I miss?
Just
I talked to the mediums, essentially. That's really it.
Sorry, say that one more time. You cut out.
I was talking about like the mediums and how it switched from like this kind of purely documentary. We're interviewing Mia in the house and we're showing the found footage of the YouTube channel, and then like the shift into like the Mike Flanagan, very aesthetic cinematic world.
Yes.
More traditional narrative storytelling.
Cool. Is that it?
yeah. That's
Oh, and she gave it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
I
That's
really
excellent.
love this.
That means it's a pretty excellent film.
Mm-hmm.
what do you think, Mackie?
My grade for this film was similar to Jacob's. I won't say what in case Jacob wants to save that for later, but my grade was very similar to Jacob's, so I'll save that for later because that's Jacob's to share. But we had the same grade. I won't say what it was, but have we talked about the intro yet? I won't like spoil the intro, but
Yeah, just give your thoughts on it.
yeah, okay. So without spoiling the intro, something really cool that it did was a lot of films, you know, when you're waiting for the film to start, the lights fade up, you either get the title right away or you get opening credits and then you get the title. I mean, a lot of films have done what Shelby Oaks has done with their intro, but a lot of them don't really start their film where the inciting incident like gives you your credits, and then it like that led into, I forget if they showed the title right after all like this inciting incident happens, or if they played it at the end of the film. Does anyone remember? I don't remember.
It's right when the incident happens, and you can say this is spoiler, so we're good. You don't have to worry about.
Okay, well, basically, this guy knocks on Mia's door, right? Mia, yeah. So he knocks on Mia's door, and then he has like a gun to his head, and he says, "I think she finally let me quit," or something like that. Is that the gist of it?
Yes,
Like set me free. Yeah.
Or she let me go, yeah. And then point blank just shoots himself, and then like blood splatters everywhere, and you're like, whoa, who is this guy? Why did he do that? Why did he go to her door specifically? And you see Mia react, and her face is just like, she's like gut wrenched. She's like, her eyes are like wide open. She's like screaming, she's crying, but all the audio is cut out, and you get just the music from that, and the music like very well fits the tone of her reaction, and then it sets the mood for the rest of the film. And I think a lot of films don't really set the title and like the opening credits to like how the rest of the film is gonna go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just kind of reminded me, I don't know if you guys play those like super massive video games, which I love, which is like Until Dawn and all like that. It kind of reminded me of that, which I just love. I'm a big horror like video game guy, so I love that. It just reminded me of like one of those games that's about to start. So that was cool. Are we talking about like all of our thoughts on the film, or like?
No, we're just kind of bouncing back and forth.
Sorry, I have notes right here. I don't want to go over all of them because I don't want to like talk for too long. But okay, one thing that I think this film it was shot beautifully. Oh, no, you know what? I'm just gonna say one thing, and then I'll let you guys bounce off. I had to look up after the film ended, like how much of this was like ad-libbed or anything like that. Apparently the script was just like, it was all Chris Stuckmann like writing it. Did you say his wife wrote it with him too, or?
She came up with the story with him.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I think she had a few things maybe in the script, but she just came up with the story. He wrote the script though. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember in the credits, I think it said like story by him and someone else, and
like
then
Sarah.
It just said it was written by him, and then I was just like, that's interesting.
I think his wife's name is Sam. So.
But with the found footage material, especially, and then like all the interviews, I just found I feel like Chris Stuckmann, he spent a long time watching real found footage. It seems like he gave a lot of thought into that, and it just felt like I was watching like an actual interview. I wasn't like, okay, he's like trying to make it sound like this girl is trying to sound like this is found footage or make the story performative in any way. And then aside from the documentary footage and then like her like self-tapes of like her like what happened to her sister Riley, I found like her acting and her performance really carried the film, and this is one of the best. Like honestly, like there's been a lot of good like female performances in the films I've seen this year, but like that was probably one of the best ones I've seen. And it'll probably get overlooked just because it's like lower budget and a horror film, but like honestly, like performance wise, like I think it's Oscar worthy. Like that sounds crazy, but like I don't know, I haven't seen that many strong female performances this year. There's maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 other actresses I can think of, and we're in November now, so
yeah, get a couple more movies on the way, so we'll see how they compete with the movies compete with each other. So
So Dion,
it's my turn.
It's your turn, beautiful boy.
Oh. Well, all right. So I'm bouncing off of Mac and Bella's opinion as well. My score is a little bit different, but not significantly different. Like this movie is still in the A range for me. One thing I loved about this movie was, I guess maybe I'm just biased for supernatural horror because it's just like you got the found footage aspect of it, and then spoiler alert, the villain is a demon. So if you guys weren't expecting that, definitely be prepared. The movie does center around like a bunch of paranormal investigators. So these dudes made a career out of visiting haunted locations, which is actually like my personal like. If that was my dream hobby, that would be that's what I would describe as my dream hobby. Like if I could do that for fun in my free time, I would gladly do something like that as well. These guys were a very popular YouTube channel, and they get a lot of like criticism, feedback of whether or not they're fake or the real deal, and it just seems like Riley Brennan, who is like one of the 4 members of the paranormal investigation crew, she's like the one that has like a psychic connection to all the spirits that's going on. And then they even dive into the little backstory that she has. Like when she was a child growing up, there was a spirit that would watch her in her sleep. She'd wake up and see something at her mirror, or not her mirror, her outside of her window. And they live in like a 2-story house. So whoever was standing outside of her window would have to be like floating or standing on something else. But so already the creep factor is blowing my mind, and so it makes it pretty abundantly clear that they're dealing with some spirits, and they don't know where the spirits came from. But later on throughout the movie, you do get the connection, and you see like there's also some witchcraft involved, and it's just like I remember Bella mentioning it either a couple episodes ago that it's like I don't know why directors just go for evil witch antagonists in a lot of horror movies that we see lately. This was very well executed as far as an evil witch story. So I so I was like, okay, I'm not exactly burnt out on this category just yet, but for future like supernatural horror movies, I do like to see something just a little bit different. It's like
It's interesting. I didn't think of this one as witchcraft. I thought it was just straight up demonic worship.
yeah, like some of the occult or something like that.
Satanic.
Yeah, like she does a little thing where she cuts her wrists in the movie, and the blood gives her like powers to move things and or whatever is going on. But for the most part, the big bad of the movie is a demon called Tyrion, and apparently Tyrion was stalking Riley her entire childhood, and had some really messed up plans for her and her camera crew at some point in the future. And man, the fate behind that camera crew disappearing is what made the internet go off. And then when you find out from the tape that was left behind, and all the secrets start to come out, and it's like, holy crap, that was a horrible way to go out.
Yeah.
And that's what I love. The build up to that was beautiful too. So Chris Stuckmann did a great job with that. That's the reason why I gave it such a high score. The only reason I would dock points off of it is because it's like I have seen quite a few Evil Witch movies up until this point, and I don't know. I think like directors want to make some supernatural horror. It should start getting a bit more creative and thinking outside of the Evil Witch storytelling world.
I have a lot of things to say on that. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of things to say on basically everything you all said. Where Bella was concerned about talking about the YouTube, like the ghost hunting or with the YouTube back in the day. You said your friend watched those ones. Yeah, I used to watch those too. So like it gave me a lot of nostalgia, especially in high school. Like for some reason in high school, I was obsessed with watching like people going into abandoned buildings and stuff looking for ghosts. And like it was always probably fake, but like every time I always try to find like when they would catch a ghost or something, it would creep me out as I was in high school and it was creeping me out. So like that was very nostalgic for me as well, watching that, because I did watch those videos a lot. It's very similar to the Paranormal Paranoids. I watched a ton of those in high school on YouTube. So like I really love that aspect of it. I'm with you, Deontay, on that. On it being, that's my biggest issue with this film, and I've seen that being the biggest criticism, and I get it because he is a movie lover first and foremost. So it makes sense. He takes a lot of inspiration from previous movies. There's heavy The Omen inspiration in this. There's a heavy, there's even like, you can do the basic like Blair Witch Project, obviously. But like he said, his two most influences were Lake Mungo and Noroi, which are two very underrated found footage documentary style horror movies. If y'all have not seen that, people watching this or people in here with me, yeah. you should all watch Lake Mungo and Noroi. Those are both. Noroi, I had seen Lake Mungo like 5-6 years ago, and because everybody talks about it. It's like one of those ones in the horror community. Everybody's like most disturbing, and it did really mess me up. It is very disturbing horror movie, and it's shot like it's an actual documentary too. Like it's shot, it makes you think it's an actual thing happening. It's very realistic, and so I definitely felt those inspirations in the first half, the first 30 minutes, for sure, with the found footage-esque and all that. And Noroi is really good too. A lot of people love Noroi. I actually watched it this past month for Halloween, just because he said it was one of his influences. So I was like, I gotta watch this now. And it's really good. I think it may be a little overrated for me, but it's hard for me to get into some foreign films that is it Japanese? It's Japanese or Taiwanese? I forget which one. And sometimes I don't know. There's just like a language disconnect where like I'm, obviously subtitles, but like maybe the acting or something. I just don't get into that foreign type of acting, especially with the like Japanese. Some Japanese films like is it Korean? South Korean always hits. I love South Korean, but when it gets to like Japanese, Taiwanese films, for some reason their acting, it just doesn't click with me. So like maybe that's why I don't like it. It's just a weird bias I have, I guess. I don't know, but like, yeah, it's still really good though. It was really creepy. There's actually one scene that's terrifying that made me jump watching it at home. So shout out to Noroi for that. That's a very underseen. It's called Noroi the Curse. It should just be called Noroi because Noroi, I think in Japanese, is the curse. I think that's what Noroi means. So it's called like the curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be called Noroi, but like for dumb Americans like me, they made it Noroi the Curse. So it's probably more accessible that way. And then obviously Lake Mungo, definitely watch Lake Mungo if you have not. I think it's free on Amazon Prime. Still could be. I don't know if they took it off since spooky season's kind of done, but great one as well. I need to rewatch that one actually. It's been 5 or 6 years, but yeah, big inspiration there. I love the first 30 minutes. I think that's like a lot of people's thing is the first 30 minutes is like the best of the movie. And I would have to agree the first 30 minutes is definitely the best part of this film. It does peak. That is an issue. It does peak with those first 30 minutes. It is so well done. So realistic, like Bella said, like it feels like if you didn't know, you could pick it up as like an actual documentary you watch on Netflix or something, like a true crime type thing. And yeah, I love the first 30 minutes. I love when it goes into the narrative too, but like you said, Deontay, and this is a lot of people's criticisms I've seen is it is, like I said, derivative, where it creeped me out because of the vibes and the atmosphere. Like the vibes and the atmosphere of this movie are very well set in and well done. And that's one thing I got to give props to Chris Stuckmann for. The script I have a few issues with, and we can get to that, but technically wise, for $2 million film, this film is better than most big budget films that I have seen this year. And I'm not even saying that because I'm biased or anything. Like personally, as somebody who's more into the cinematography aspect, as everybody knows watching me, cinematography always is going to get me. That's like my number one when it comes to film is the cinematography usually. And the lighting of this film is amazing. For some reason, most horror films, especially this year, and I'm not even gonna. I love Weapons. I love Weapons more than this movie. Weapons, I think, is a better horror film, but it's too dark in some places. Like they try to make horror movies way too dark nowadays, and this movie has the right. And it's like it has, and I get it. They're trying to be realistic because it would be you couldn't see, but when you're watching a film, that kind of is a weird point. Like you want to make it dark, like you're seeing in real life. You're watching a film, so you want to see what's happening on screen. So like Chris Stuckmann, the lighting department was amazing on this film. That was like my biggest takeaway. I even leaned over to one of my friends I saw this with. I was like, the lighting of this film is better than 90% of Hollywood movies made today. Like the lighting was so good, especially at nighttime. There's a scene in the woods where it's a hellhound basically, and it's in the woods, and the lighting through the trees. I was just like, I gave me like John Carpenter Halloween vibes. Like it was just it had a nice blue tint to it. You could just perfect lighting. So technical wise, like technically, especially for $2 million, I think this is a perfect technical movie. Like technical wise, if we're talking about like lighting, sound, cinematography, it was shot so well. It looked amazing for its budget, and for any movie, not just its budget. The performances were amazing, especially the actress that plays Mia. She was really, really good. I'm with, people may think that's crazy about the Best Actor Oscar, but I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, a nomination. I mean, I think, like Max said, it is really well done. It is a strong female performance. I think she deserves a lot more credit. Hopefully she gets more roles because I think she's kind of a lesser known actress or actor. And even the girl that plays Riley, I really like too. She's not in it as much, obviously, but I kind of gravitated to her character a lot. Like she kind of has like a very like bubbly type, like kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Just something about her. She really draws you to her. Like you really care for this. Like you want her to be found. Like she has that type of enthusiasm to her acting, and the rest of the cast was great. And actually, one of the guy, I don't know the guy's name. It's a tall guy of the Paranormal Paranoids. He actually shot a lot of the footage when it's him with the camera and it's like showing the shots. He actually did that. The actor, he did that, and he didn't like ask for extra pay or extra credit or anything because it was back when they were still trying to get the Kickstarter money. So like. He just kind of, Chris Stuckmann asked him, like, hey, do you want to do this? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it. And like, so I thought that was really well done that he also acted in it and helped shoot the found footage part of the film. That was pretty cool. So shout out to him. And the whole they did really well. The whole ensemble cast. Keith David showing up's amazing.
Hey.
Even though he's in one scene.
It's a good scene though.
Yeah. Just like, the guy that plays the
detective, or
not the detective, the
Warden?
guy that kidnaps her.
Oh, Wilson Miles, yeah,
the one that ends up killing himself. I thought he did really good for the little scenes he had. Look at the snazzy guy. Look at
Charlie
that
Talbert,
snazzy suit there. But yeah, he did really well. And the old lady was creepy as hell, whoever she was. Shout out her.
I think her name was Robin Bartlett.
She gave me a Bathilda Bagshot vibes from
Yes.
Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, she was creepy for sure. And like, shout out actual. While I think a lot of people are actually knocking this movie as well for the demon design, saying
I loved it.
It would have been better if they didn't show it, and I think I am on that side. I don't think we needed to see it at the end there. I think maybe showing the whole full body shot of it, you can kind of see that it's like. I thought it looked great, like practical wise, it looks amazing. Like it's really well made for sure. But I don't know. For me, I'm more of a subtle person where I'm like, you could have kind of just shown his shadow or something. You didn't have to show the full creature. Like that kind of made it feel a little low budget B movie esque.
I agree.
Like a James Wan type feeling. Yeah.
No. The whole
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh.
It's okay. You can go.
Right after the guy killed himself at the beginning of the film, he has this tape in his hand. So she grabs the tape, and then she's like, "I gotta watch all this," because it has like the area where she disappeared, which is Shelby Oaks area. So she puts the tape in, watches it, and then when she's done watching all the tape which explains like what happened, or not all of what happened, but it kind of explains the disappearances of like her sister and the rest of the crew and all that, and then they find out what happened to the crew, but they still don't know where the sister is, but that's like the last footage they have of the sister. Anyway, when she's done, like she like looks up, and then like there's just these like beady like yellow eyes like piercing through the window and like staring at her, and you just see it for maybe like maybe like 1 second at most, but it like, man, that scared the shit out of me as an audience. I was just like, that was enough. That was enough to like kind of unsettle me. And I've seen a bunch of horror movies this year, but like that kind of like new release horror movies, and that was definitely probably the most scary like movie. And it wasn't a jump scare. I don't think this movie like went to jump scares very much at all. It just went to like the moment before a jump scare, or it just like went to the tension, like those like very like tenuous moments, and like it did a really good job at that. And I think that was a lot more effective than just doing jump scares. I think like the first thing they do in this movie was like she just like creaks the door open in the found footage to see like what the noise is downstairs in like their little hotel or wherever they're staying for to go ghost hunting. And then like she just like cracks the door open and full light in her room, total darkness through the door that she's like about to walk through, and then she just walks out there, and then it's like she enters the darkness. You kind of see her, but then she disappears. But then you kind of see like this weird shadowy figure through the reflection of the window, and that was very unsettling too.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. I love the way that looked, for sure. But yeah, like I said, that's my little nitpick. Like you didn't have to show the demon. I get it because he got the extra, and that may have been one of the scenes they reshot. I don't know, because I didn't look up, and I don't think then he never stated publicly what scenes they redid. But there's a few scenes in the script that when Mike Flanagan and Neon saw, they were like, "Why didn't you shoot these?" Chris told him, "Well, I didn't have the money." And then so the Neon basically gave him an extra $1 million, and like, "Oh, we need these scenes in the movie." So like they shot 3 or 4. He said 3 or 4 scenes and sequences are what the Neon money, that $1 million went into. So I'm guessing it's more of the bigger budget, like the bigger spectacle shots for sure, probably. But yeah, like I said, technically I think this movie's perfect. Like I said, the lighting is just like unreal cinematography. If not for anything, Chris Stuckmann has proved himself as a director for sure. I think he has it when it comes to directing. Just like he knows what the cinematographer to use. He knows what what departments to have, and with the lighting and how to shoot a shot. It's just like it just really. I went in knowing it was $2 million, and I went in like, okay, this is his first film. So I was willing to be forgiving, because I know how hard it is to make a film. And it just like, I think that was my biggest positive and takeaway from this movie was, wow, this movie looks absolutely incredible. Like I was just like floored from the first opening. Even the found footage stuff was, and the way they the way they go from the found footage to the regular narrative storytelling is so seamless. And the documentary, because it's found footage, documentarian, and then narrative storytelling all kind of together. So it's like 3, not just 2. And the way they mixed it, I think, was so well done, perfectly edited, perfectly put together. First 30 minutes, amazing, lock you in for sure. And yeah, I really just love that aspect of it. And like I said, Chris Stuckmann just for sure can direct the heck out of a movie. Like it's just like the lighting. I was just like, wow. I just like, and that's such a weird, like people come to like movie reviews are like, let's talk about the story. And I'm over here, the lighting. Did you see that shot of the hellhounds in the forest? Like just for me, like, because cinematography is my thing, man. So I love the shots. Just like I when I think of this movie, I think of that hellhound in the woods and the moon shining and just like the way the light comes in. It's just like, dude, you got it, man. You know how to shoot horror. Like I love when there's actually, you can see what's happening in a horror film, and it's like lit, realistic. It's still realistic, but it's lit well. And yeah.
Yeah, you were going to say something earlier, Bella?
Oh, I was going to talk about like seeing the demon, because I completely agree I don't think we needed to. I'm not a huge fan of just like these kind of CGI too clean looking demon presences. Like they kind of remind me of The Conjuring.
Yeah.
And I don't love that even in The Conjuring, truth be told. But it's interesting hearing the influences that Chris had in the making of this movie, because one of the biggest parallels I kept thinking about was to Rosemary's Baby after a certain point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like there is so much from that story that is very, very, very derivative in this. But one of the things that I do love about that movie, hate Roman Polanski, not going to touch that topic. But that aside, I do love that we never actually see Satan in that movie. It's just like the pieces of him. And I think that that's partially what works so well in the found footage element of the story, is that we're seeing like that kind of cryptid style presence of the demon, rather than we're actually just seeing the full-fledged like demon the way we do it towards like the very end of the film. So I do feel like there were maybe better ways of like infusing that throughout the story, rather than it just being like, oh yeah, there he is.
Tyrion, hi.
Thank you for showing your face.
And it's just like the vibe and the atmosphere is what, because this movie is, like I said, and Deontay's biggest criticism was about, it kind of feels like maybe we should try something more fresh, original here. And I agree with that. It does feel derivative, and I could say I predicted a lot of where this movie was going, but because of the vibe and the atmosphere, that is what really kept me in it and just like kept me locked in. Like Bella said, just being like totally just like sucked into the movie. I do think he creates this world where it's just like you're so just like invested in this story, even if maybe where some things are gonna go. The vibe and the atmosphere just keeps you there, and the tension, and just like when you see just like his little signature, his little scratches, his sign, the demon sign, and like the blood and like the whole jail sequence.
Oh,
which like I really want a reformatory, technically is what it's called, but it's a jail, whatever, prison, whatever. But which you can actually visit. That's where they shot Shawshank Redemption. Actually, it's the same prison where they shot the Shawshank Redemption. It's in Ohio.
wow.
And like I've actually been planning to visit there for a few years, because one of my favorite movies is the Shawshank Redemption. So I was like, so it was cool seeing, because like I want to visit there in person, and so I watched tours and stuff of the prison. So it was cool seeing it in the movie. Like, oh, that's that prison that I want to actually visit, because you can visit it. And they actually do they do ghost tours there and film tours. Like they do like paranormal tours at night, that reformatory, and then they do like during the day they have like Shawshank Redemption film tours, where you can like they show you like stuff from the film and things. So like I really love that aspect, and like when she goes to the old lady's house and just having like the mold, the black, and like it's kind of there in like all these different places. And like Bella said with the found footage and like the cryptid, there's multiple scenes where it's in the background. Like you can see it in the background, but like it's one of those things, like it's a game for the audience, like to spot it type of thing. It's kind of like what Mike Flanagan did with Haunting of Hill House, where he put like all those ghosts, where like if you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. And like it was kind of like one of those things. It was like a game for the audience, where like all those found footage, I was like trying to catch the demon in the background. It was just like, and that added to the tension and the so intense, because you can see it there in the early showings of the film, and they go missing, so it adds that ominous feeling to it.
Yeah, I will say this. I'm probably going to be the unpopular opinion tonight, but out of all the demons we've seen in horror movies, maybe within the last 5 to 10 years, I would say Tyrion is probably top 5 demon designs that I've seen up until this point. He's nowhere. I won't reach and give him top 3, but top 5 at the very least. I love the goat head and everything. I think the one thing that turned me off about Tyrion, at the final scene of the movie, he puts his human ass hand on fucking Mia's shoulder, and it's like, oh, why does his hand look like, I don't know, like it's such a human hand. I get it, like they're abominations. You could be a mixture of human and demon, humanoid body, goat head, gnarly looking teeth, and honestly, we did wait quite a bit to see the full look of Tyrion. Uh, Throughout the movie, we would just catch like silhouettes of it everywhere we went, like at Mia's house, the reformatory, and then when she finally got to the witch's house, uh, we didn't see Tyrion until Mia found her sister and was trying to escape with her. And that scene alone, where she's like going down the hallway with Riley, and they're trying to go up the stairs and get up out the house. They turn around and look back. The witch is standing there by herself. They turn around, keep going, look back. The witch is getting closer. Turn around, and then they look again, and there's something like behind her, and it's like, oh my god, that is probably the most frightening scene in the entire movie for me, because it's like, oh shit, you guys should have ran a long time ago. and I don't really question that aspect of the movie, because Mia's brave as hell. Like, I like to think, like, what would we do if we were in that situation? If like our sister went missing for what, 5 years and 12, and you just got impatient with law enforcement, so you wanted to do it yourself. Like, this woman got up in the middle of the night and said, "Screw this shit. I'm going to the haunted prison." In the middle of the night, the darkest night of the hour, and she could have died in any other scenario, because she's literally face to face with the Hellhound, and the Hellhound just spared her, or Tyrion grabbed the Hellhound before he bit her. And like, I love my sister to death. I do have one younger biological sister, and I would do quite a bit for her, but god damn, that was crazy. I would at least wait until when it was broad daylight outside to go on a rescue mission. And she went alone. So I'm like, holy crap. Mia has way more balls than all of us combined.
Yep. Well, to be fair, she tried to get her husband to go, but her husband was like, "Nah, you're crazy, girl."
I was like, how are you going to gaslight her, bro? Did he make...
I mean, I get from his perspective, because it is like, okay, she's been missing for 12 years. I get from his perspective, like, okay, maybe you're just kind of, because I mean, a guy did kill himself right in front of her, and I mean, she still had the blood on her face, and she didn't wash. That was one thing. I was like, wash the blood off your face. Like, it just stayed on her face like the whole scene, even when she was watching the video and stuff. I'm like, I don't care how traumatized I am. If I have a dude's brains on my face, I'm washing that off as fast as possible. I'm not going to sit there. And I get for film wise why I was there, but like, yeah, that definitely could have knocked that off. And yeah, like, I'm with you, Deontay. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I have a sister as well, and so I don't know if I'd do that. I don't know, because but you know what? It's kind of weird though, because my sister's pregnant right now, and like, you know, Riley's pregnant in the movie, so it's kind of weird parallel there, where it's like, did I do that? Maybe for my niece, but maybe niece, nephew, whatever it's, you know, but like, I don't know. Well, I mean, Mia, you got some balls on you for that, for sure.
She really does.
That's a tough lady. That's a tough lady. She said, "I don't care. I don't need no man. Screw my husband. I'm going." And I was like, "Girl, you go. You get it."
Yes, ma'am.
That was one other thing I did have a question about, and maybe I missed something. So like, someone chime in and tell me if I'm like completely reading this wrong. But it's kind of insinuated like she's just repeatedly been pregnant over this 12-year period, and the babies are being sacrificed or dying because she's like an unwilling vessel, because we see like they have all of these little markers out in the yard with the symbol for Tyrion, and that's kind of what I took from the pictures that they have documenting her time being at this witch's house. But then when Mia comes to rescue Riley, they grab the baby and the baby is alive, and it doesn't seem that they're trying to sacrifice the baby. Like, she stops Riley from coming over to kill the baby, and we end the movie with Riley trying to kill the baby. So I'm like,
Fails
was it
miserably.
sacrifice, or is the baby dying at birth or something, or like what's happening there? Because it seems like they want the baby to live at the very end because it's like carrying on bloodline. I don't know. I had questions about that.
I
Am I
do have a theory. So that was one of my biggest questions too. Is like you don't really see anything that confirms or deny that the other kids died, because this is a horrible thing too. So like the character's name is Wilson Miles. He marries Riley. They're forced into a marriage. I don't know if she's drugged up and completely out of it or what's going on, but you can clearly tell like she did not consent to any of that. So witchcraft might have been involved, and I feel like they were manufacturing an antichrist. So that like the kid that ended up being picked and chosen to be kept alive, Riley intended on like killing it basically. It was like, because if he grows up, something horrible might happen to planet Earth or something. There was really no telling about that, but it's right. It's like derivative of the Omen, like Jacob was saying earlier. It's just like you let this baby live, which is like conceived on demonic energy and all that. Like this could be apocalypse level bad. So,
and it took the vibe from that too, because like The Omen, that's in my top 10 favorite horror films, and like I love the original Omen, and I feel like that movie is very much vibes and atmosphere, and that has the hellhounds to it and stuff, and maybe that's why I love the hellhound shot so much. But like, we need more hellhounds in movies because
great.
I haven't seen hellhounds in movies in a while. I feel like it's been a while since I've seen one. You know, it kind of was that thing after The Omen, but then they kind of don't use them as much anymore. So I was just like, I think it's cool. I love it. So like, I like that about it for sure. I don't know about the baby thing. Yeah, that maybe the rest, I guess they were miscarriages, or maybe they didn't turn out right, or I don't know why. But yeah, Bill's right about like I thought that was like a graveyard too for like the dead babies or whatever. So I don't know if maybe this one worked, or they knew it was going to work, or yeah, that probably could have been explained better. Because like, which I guess we can get to it now. That's my biggest issue with the film is the first 30 minutes is great, and it's a great story. I think it's like an hour and 20 something minutes, so it's under 90 minutes, and I get it, and I'm giving a lot of grace here because of the budget. I'm pretty sure he probably just didn't have the time or the money to like expand. But we really needed a lot of things expanded. That third act is basically like 5 minutes. Like it goes from it almost doesn't have a natural second act. Almost it kind of goes first to third. We're done. Like it doesn't naturally go through the acts like it should. And like that third act, I couldn't believe it was over. I was just like, oh, the movie's already over. Like I felt like I was in the movies for like 50 minutes, an hour. Like I will say that the pacing's great. Like the pacing's amazing. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It doesn't, linger on anything way too long. If anything, it lingers maybe too short at the end there. Because but then again, that could be a budgetary thing too. I mean, when you're trying to make a film, you don't want to, especially when you're writing a script and you're not getting, you don't have the money and stuff. You don't want to write so many pages because studios kind of want that fast, easy money getting. They don't want like a 300-page gigantic behemoth script, like a 3-hour Ari Aster movie. They want like an hour and a half. They want that tight horror movie they can put in theaters, more show times, more run. They can show it in theaters more, and just like. That's just a cynical thought of me, but like that's how producers think, and they're thinking of like how many times can we show this a day in theaters, and maybe that was what Chris was kind of trying to do when he was writing the script, was trying to make it tight. So he's like, this will sell, because it's quick, easy. But yeah, that third act definitely needed to be it was basically non-existent. It just kind of ends, and it's not climactic at all.
Mm-hmm.
but that's probably my biggest issue besides it being a little derivative. But I will say the practical effects of the dog eating Riley were great.
Whew.
When they're showing her flesh off and stuff, like when they're like when she falls out the window and they're just ripping her flesh off and stuff, I was like, this looks amazing. I was like, this looks great. I'm digging this for sure.
Oh god, no, the dogs were scarier than Tyrion.
Yes.
I will.
I think so. I think so.
I will concede on that point.
Because like because I saw the ending coming. Once I knew she was pregnant, I was like, I know where this is going. And then when they took the baby home, I was like, she's gonna leave her alone, and she's gonna walk in to find Riley trying to kill the baby. And what do we get? We get exactly what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, Riley's gonna try to smother the baby, and she does. And then obviously she.
I also called the window being like somebody's death the second it cracked.
Oh no.
That's true too. Which I did love that throughout the movie though. That little crack in the window, like it was a reoccurring kind of motif type of thing where it was just like the crack when like when she's telling the story about like Riley when she was a kid and we see the crack and then we see the crack and then one of the found footage we see the crack and like I really did like that and I didn't even think about that, but that could have been foreshadowing too.
Yeah.
Window, her falling out the window.
I mean, that whole story is kind of foreshadowing because I'm like the fact that it's her looking at the window when it cracks and not Riley. And like the whole ending is like, oh no, it was always after her.
Like, oh man. Mia's cooked too, so she's going to be in therapy for like the next 40 years because of all the events that just transpired. So
Mia's the one carrying the legacy now. Like,
yeah. I just got to raise this Antichrist baby now. No big deal.
Yeah, I do like that though. How dark it gets. I will say that I like how dark and vile it gets because you don't see it coming that way. You think, oh, it's just a found footage, missing something. And it's like, oh no, she's been tied up in this basement, basically getting, SA'd a whole bunch. I'll say SA'd so we don't get demonetized or whatever, but like a whole bunch, where like over and over, where like these babies are dying, and she's like that's just like vile and like that's just really brutal. Especially like I said, when it goes back to the actor's performance with her, just like how like warm and like. Easy she is to root for, it just makes it even worse because it's like, oh, this poor girl is just getting she's getting tortured in this basement, being forced to have these bunch of babies with this big old chubby guy. That his mom is a Satanist. I don't know if he could have been a victim too in a way. Maybe he was like a pawn. I don't know. It kind of seemed that way.
I mean, I think given that he says before he kills himself, she finally let me go, that, like he's not fully a part of this. It's the women who are continuing that line.
Man. Whew. God. Oh, man.
It's dark.
Yeah, so dark. It's like, Chris, what was going through your head when you wrote this, bro?
The other thing that I really thought was interesting about it, though, for me watching it was just, I thought it did a pretty good job initially of kind of keeping me uncertain of, is this going to go full-blown supernatural or is this going to stay more in like it was just a person who killed them all when they were at the cabin. Obviously, like once we get to like Mia's bigger investigation and like when she's going to the prison and stuff, like it becomes pretty clear, like, okay, cool, no, this is just going to go straight up demonic. That's the answer here. But I actually like that, like in that kind of bridge between moment where it does kind of make you wonder, like, okay, cool, was this genuinely just a murder of this psychotic man, or was it like a little more sinister than that? I don't know if I felt that way, but I kind of appreciated that.
Yeah, it even shows like that character killing the paranoid crew. the paranormal crew. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, he's like
That's
driving
what I'm
something into
about
the
is
neck.
like that whole like little bridge right after we shift into the more cinematic storytelling of like, okay, cool, was it genuinely like she was just kidnapped and these people are crazy? But yeah.
Also, now that you mentioned that, when they investigate the entire city of Shelby Oaks itself, it's like completely deserted and abandoned, and no one knows where the residents of Shelby Oaks went to. So I thought it was going to be something even bigger than that. Like holy crap! Like there's an opportunity for that. Like if Chris Stuckmann wanted to cash in on Shelby Oaks too, it'd be like, yeah, Robin was actually a part of something much larger, and will explain what happened to the rest of the residents of Shelby Oaks. Like, that would have been insane to go down, a rabbit hole to go down.
Well, I just thought about this. Like, it could go. I don't think it will. I think Chris will move on from this, but probably. But I think it could go like the Evil Dead route, where like he makes Evil Dead for like the cheap amount of money, like Sam Raimi did in college, and then Evil Dead Part 2 comes out, which is basically Evil Dead, but more budget and bigger and better. So, he could go the Evil Dead route where like this is just like the taste, and then we kind of get a similar, but he gets more budget, more backing and stuff. I mean, possible. You never know. Okay. He does say in his YouTube videos, The Evil Dead's one of his favorite franchises. So hey, you never know.
Austin's.
But yeah, I mean that was my biggest issue was the ending. It was just too fast. I saw it coming, predictable. I was just like, okay. But the ride there it's not the destination, it's the journey.
That's honestly why I think I ranked this one so high for myself. I'm like, I had so much fun watching that in a way that I hadn't felt in a little bit. Like, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, Weapons, absolutely excellent horror film. Mm-hmm. This one hit on so many other things that are like personally nostalgic for me in a very different way. So as far as like entertainment and being like just kind of along for the ride, like, yeah, I was thoroughly entertained by watching this movie.
Oh yeah, like it's really rewatchable. Like I actually saw it in a double feature with Black Phone 2, and I'd actually say I prefer this over Black Phone 2.
I'm not surprised by that.
I agree with that. I did see Black Phone 2.
Hey, Mac is not biased, and
I wholeheartedly agree. I'm not really like. I mean, Jacob's kind of got me more into horror, and I like horror films. I mean, I don't hate them. I like them. I'll watch a horror film whenever, but definitely not a horror buff. But yes, I do agree. I do think Shelby Oaks was the stronger of the two.
Yeah. And I mean, he's not the only one. My two friends who I saw it with who don't give a crap about Chris Stuckmann, they're like, okay, Jacob, whatever. We're just going to watch. they didn't care about the backstory whatsoever with me. They're like, I don't give a, they're just like, we're just going to watch this. It's like a scary demon found footage type movie. Okay, we'll watch it. And like, we watched this and Black Phone 2 back to back, me and two of my friends. And both of them, they were like disappointed in Black Phone. They were just like, I don't really. Oh, it's a skeleton.
Where did that come from?
It's my brother. Look at me.
Your brother.
Fooling around with StreamYard's horror backgrounds or overlays, I should say.
But yeah, like we saw Black Phone 2 and this in double feature, and I actually really like Black Phone 2. I think it's a really good horror sequel. But my two friends were like, "Oh man, they're like, oh, this is not that good, boring. I'm not feeling it." And then we went and saw Shelby Oaks, and you would have thought it was just weird for me because I thought Black Phone 2 for sure was going to be the hit for them, like it was going to be the knockout of the park, and they were going to be like, "Jacob, why'd you make us watch this YouTuber movie?" Like that's where I thought it was going to go, but it went the complete opposite. Where like they were like, "Oh, Black Phone 2, that was disappointing," and then after Shelby Oaks was done, they were like, "That was great." Like they were like, "That's like A plus for me, man." Like I'd rewatch this. And my one friend even leaned over. He's like, "I'd rewatch this movie." He was like, "That was way better than Black Phone 2." I was like, I I did not see it going this way, like at all. Like I completely expected them to be like, "Oh, this movie is low budget. It sucks. It's terrible." Like you just like it because you like the YouTuber, but no, they were all on. They loved this movie and they were not into Black Phone 2. So I mean, it's not just Mac and it's not just me. I mean, I feel like a lot of people feel that way. I mean, that's 4 people right there.
Yeah,
3 unbiased.
that's how I felt too. Jacob was like, "Go see this movie. I've been watching Chris Stuckmann forever," and I was just like, "Okay, Jacob." Oh, yeah. And then I saw it, and I was like, "Yeah, that was pretty good."
Oh man.
And
In
with
my
that,
head,
Neon, with that, I've gotten 3 people to buy tickets for Shelby Oaks. Where's my love?
give him some money.
I'm spreading my love. Chris Stuckmann, you too, buddy. I'm subscribed to you. I watched you for a decade. I got 3 people to watch your movie. I know Bella and Deontay are probably already going to watch it, but I got Mac to watch it, and I got 2 of my friends to watch it. And whoever watches this may go watch it now. I hope they're not, though, because we kind of spoiled everything. But they'll still probably watch it. People do that. They're weirdos. Especially if you're watching me, you're probably weird. But seriously, though, where's my money, Neon? Come on. I got 3 people. That's, what, $40 or something? Come on now.
Man.
I actually watched Shelby Oaks for free because of my membership at the movie.
Don't say that. No, you didn't. You didn't get anything. You actually had to pay you had to pay $20 actually because ticket prices are much higher where you live. Just lie and say that.
I mean, yeah, that is true. They are more expensive here.
I went on a Tuesday matinee, but I should have paid the full price Friday premiere night.
Hey, I paid the Saturday afternoon price, which is the full price, but
Same.
It deserved it for sure.
oh yeah, deserved it more than Black Phone 2. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. And there's some other horror movies that came out this year that Shelby Oaks could definitely contend with. It reminds me of the fact that Weapons was like such a highly acclaimed horror movie, and what was the antagonist, an evil witch, and it's like, damn, is it?
Yeah.
So not even 2025 is safe. So it were like about 3 or 4 movies in a row.
At
where
least,
it's just like,
not to talk about Weapons, but at least Weapons did it in a different, unique way. At least it tried something. It didn't really focus on the witchcraft part of it. It didn't really get into, and it did something goofy and weird with the witchcraft. It didn't do like your basic expected.
yeah.
You know, it did the weird. Can I have a bowl of water? No, I need a bowl. It's just a quirky thing I don't try to describe anymore.
Oh, so
Yeah, just like wild, but like, yeah, like
such a larger than life antagonist.
yeah, like I wouldn't like
Hands down.
like this movie. I think on my letterbox right now, I'm like I have like my listed like by number, and I think this is like I have my 2025 releases watched, and I think this is like 28 out of, and mind you, I've seen I think 74 films this year now. Like 28 out of 74. That's really well done for this movie. I think this is right behind Black Phone 2, but I'd probably switch them when I'm thinking on it more. I'd probably flip Shelby Oaks over Black Phone 2 for sure. So 27 out of 74, and Weapons is number 7 or 6 on my list of the year right now. So kind of but it's hard because like we got Weapons, we had Sinners. People forget Sinners. That's a horror film.
Oh yeah.
And then
I don't forget Sinners.
Together was amazing for me. I love Together too. Together's in my top 10 this year too. I have 3 horror movies in my top 10 right now. It's Sinners, Weapons, and Together, and they're all I think they're 5, 6, and 7 actually. I think Sinners is 5, Weapons is 6, Together is 7. If I'm correct in my listing right now.
Yeah, Shelby joined my 10 for sure, or Shelby Oaks joined my 10.
If we're going strictly horror, this is top 5 horror of the year for sure. And I'd put this.
Yeah.
What? I put this over Black Phone 2. I'm trying to think of other horror. I put this over Conjuring Last Rites. That's for sure.
Oh,
So
Michael Chavez, I'm watching you. You remember me? I'm here. Speaking of that, this is off topic, but I have to say it now before I forget. Did you see that they're making a Conjuring series now? I think I tagged you, Deontay, on Facebook.
Yeah, me and Blake.
When they just came out and said they're done with the Conjuring franchise, and I told you, I was like, this made too much money. I was like, it was so profitable at the box office. It's insane. I think it was the most profitable Conjuring movie since the first, at least. And like the fact that it made that much money, and the director was like, "No, we're done." And then like a week later, oh, series, and guess what? He's writing and he's helping write and direct it and produce it. I was like, I'm out, dog. No offense, Mike. No offense, Michael, but give it to somebody else. Give it to me. I'll do it.
Give it back to James Wan. Jesus.
Yeah, actually, just give it to James Wan. Screw me. Give it to James Wan. Let him do it. James Wan is probably too good for it now, though.
Oh,
it's tainted.
Out.
It's tainted now.
yeah.
That's fair.
Speaking of James Wan, where's he at, man? He made Aquaman, and then he went away.
He has yeah, he has a documentary, or not a documentary. It's kind of like a ghost, like haunted storytelling thing on Netflix now called True Haunting. And it's like 5 episodes long. And I think he's like behind the cinematography as well or something like that. There's people telling stories about demons stalking them and stuff. And it's not bad. It's just not. It's not his prime, not James Wan's prime work.
Yeah.
The last film I've seen by him was *Malignant*. So it's been a while.
Classic.
I love *Malignant*.
Classic. Underrated movie. Shout out *Malignant* for nobody talks about that one. Shout out that. That's a very fun, wild horror movie for sure.
is that like Harry Potter?
Yes. Yes, Matt. It's so much like Harry Potter.
Wait, what?
I'm just joking. It's an inside joke I have with Jacob. Anytime he mentions something new, I do this with my coworkers. I was like, "Is that like Harry Potter?" And they get pissed off. Anyway,
it's a bit. It's a good bit though.
it is a great bit. Now you're in on the joke.
Yeah, everybody watching, you're welcome. You're in on our inside
You're
bit.
all in on the Mac joke. Anyway.
It's peak rage baiting right here. I love it.
But yeah, do y'all have anything to say on Shelby Oaks?
I would like to mention my
Yes. You go, Matt.
two things. My biggest complaint about this film, it's honestly nitpicky. So like they're like in the basement. She's like, "Let's get out of here." Well, before she goes in the basement. She's like, "Let's get out of here." She goes down into the basement, right? But she's like, "I'm scared, so I'm gonna bring this knife with me." So she runs down to the basement. She fast forward. She grabs her sister. She's like, "Let's go." She drops the knife. The knife's on the ground. Tight shot of the knife, right? And then the knife is never seen again. And I'm like, okay, maybe like there. I'm like, I don't know. Here are my thoughts. Okay.
Yeah.
It's either use the knife again, or basically you have to use the knife. I don't know that. I'm just like,
done, but you didn't fulfill it.
I mean, it did make me a little worried. Maybe that was his intention, to make us worried as a viewer, to be like, oh, the demon or the witch is gonna use the knife and kill him. But I don't know. Anyway, and then the other thing. A lot of people's biggest critique about this film that I actually didn't have an issue with. I talked to Jacob about this. We were texting over this after I saw it. I saw it on Saturday. A lot of people thought the found footage, like, oh, there wasn't enough found footage in this film, or like, and they like transitioned too much into like regular like normal narrative cinematic storytelling. And I'm like, well, here's the thing. This is what I took from the film. I think the found footage was just like to propel the story forward. It's more of a narrative choice than a stylistic choice. Like the narrative, the found footage is just there so she can, as evidence, so she can find her sister. It's not so like to be cool or anything, or to, I don't know.
That's a fair point.
I just think that's like a bad critique of the film. Sorry to anybody who thinks there should be more found footage, but it's a narrative choice, I think.
No, it is. It's like we already know within this universe that there is more footage of them because they have this YouTube channel. Like it's not even traditional found footage, it's footage attached to like their content creation. So yeah, no, I agree. I don't think that that's necessarily like the strongest critique you could make for this film.
Right.
Those were all everything I had to say about that film. Well, I probably have more, but that's like all the notes I wrote down.
Yeah.
I didn't write any notes. You guys are so more well prepared than me, and it's my show. What am I doing?
I just put little dots because I can't remember everything, so I put little dots or like little like pointers.
I'm just off the top, I guess. I don't know.
Sly.
I was like,
but I'm also very OCD ADHD, so I just lock it in there. You know, I'm just like like I just know. But yeah.
Hey, you do well though. Like,
I'm trying to think of anything else. I will. There was gosh, what was I going to say about it? Oh my gosh, I had something. I lost. I just literally boasted about my thought, and then I just lost.
Man,
that's the most ironic thing. I literally was just like, I got it locked in, and then I was just like, wait a minute,
gone.
But it was what Mac was saying about the found footage. That's what it was. I am not a found footage guy usually. I'm not found footage. Is it because I literally just said earlier that cinematography is my number one in a movie. Found footage is definitely not a cinematography type genre, obviously, because that would be weird if it was. So like, you know, so like for me, it only being the 30 minutes of found footage was a plus for me because I didn't have to sit through an entire found footage. Now I'm a weirdo because apparently a lot of people don't like the Blair Witch Project. I absolutely love the Blair Witch Project. It's actually one of my favorite horror. It's probably like top 25 horror films for me for sure. But like I hate found footage at the same time, so I'm like a weird guy where I'm like, because like I love the Blair Witch Project and I love Lake Mungo, and the rest found footage I could probably name like 3 that I've seen that I liked. So like I'm a weird type. I guess I have a weird taste, but like yeah. So the 30 minutes of found footage was. I think that's more of a plus and a critique people should have, is especially how it was done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think before I was able to see Blair Witch Project, it started with Paranormal Activity, and then I worked backwards. So the very first and original Paranormal Activity is what did it for me.
Yeah. See, that was like that especially because I know you're like a little bit older than us. That was like your generation's like thing was Blair Witch. I think I was like, when did that come out? 2005, 6,
something like that. It was like early aughts.
Yeah, so I was like 7, 8 when that movie came out. So I don't really remember. I don't remember when it was like. All I remember is I watched that movie at one of my friend's house in middle school, and I didn't care for it. So that's all I can. I haven't seen any of the other Paranormal Activities, so I can't really say I haven't seen it in over a decade, so I couldn't comment on Paranormal Activity. But besides Blair Witch Project and a Lake Mungo, found footage is not really my bag. So for me to really love this movie, that's another testament to the Chris Stuckmann and the filmmaking, is that like he got me to enjoy found footage more. Where I was like, oh yeah, I'm down, like I'm in. Because for me, if I'm gonna watch found footage, I might as well just watch a real documentary. That's kind of my thought on it.
Yeah.
I don't really. But besides the Blair Witch, though, for some reason, I love the Blair Witch Project. Kill me.
Hey.
Love. I unfortunately do have to go to bed here soon. I don't know if there's anything else.
Well, I think we're wrapping up anyway. Unless. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, what? Okay, so Bella gave it a 10 out of 10.
I can give a letter grade.
What's your letter grade?
I think my letter grade, I think, is like somewhere between B plus A.
Okay.
All right.
I gave it an A minus.
There you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think an A minus is like a solid ranking for this. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Me and Matt gave it the same thing, which I gave it an A minus, a 4 out of 5. So
Oh,
that's
Wow.
They both gave 4 out of 5.
nice.
Letter grade.
See, I don't believe in letter grades, but I believe in that 5-star review.
Mm.
He's letterbox coded only.
I'm letterbox coded.
Big shout out to Chris Stuckmann, man.
Follow me on Letterbox at Mac McNamara. It's no spaces.
Mac McNamara.
Follow me at Jacob Smith 9817. I should probably make my letterbox my thing. Actually, that would probably be the smart thing to do.
Yeah, like the little white box underneath your name tag.
Yeah, I should just do Jacob's Film Perspectives and put my logo on letterbox, and that'd be my letterbox. But then I don't write reviews on Letterboxd, so I don't like doing that for some reason. I'm a weirdo. I don't like doing that. I only do the light and the stars. I don't do the right because I save that for this. You know, I can't give the Letterboxd peeps this. They got to come to this. You know what I mean?
Right.
So true. Well, maybe that's how you can write your reviews. Be like, hey, if you want an explanation for my ranking of this, go to Jacob's Film Perspectives.
that is a
all of your reviews.
Speaking of that, I did create a Substack recently. It was Bella's idea. She was like, you should make a Substack the last episode we did, and I did it. And I don't really know how to use it yet. I'm still figuring it out. It's a very weird, complicated app, I will say. I'm not sure how to use it completely yet. I think it's a little too smart for me. I think there's a lot of very intellectual, like scholarly people on that. And it's a lot like about like health and political things. And I'm over here like, I love movies, y'all. Like you know what I'm
There are tiers to Substack. Those people exist on Substack too.
like I gotta dig into like I literally follow Bella and this one YouTuber, movie review YouTuber. I only follow 2. So I'm still new, fresh. I posted like we were doing this podcast, and I posted my video reactions that I post on everything else. I've been posting on there, but yeah, I need to find out. I've been meaning to watch YouTube videos on it because that's how I learn. But yeah. I'll get Substack figured out. But yeah, go follow me on Substack if you have it. Jacob's Film Perspectives, same thing as everything else. I have 1 follower. It's Bella, by the way. My loyal follower. The only follower I need, actually. So don't follow me, actually.
A true supporter. Yeah. A true supporter right there.
I try.
But yeah. Follow me on Substack. That's my new thing, I guess. I will actually start writing articles sometime. I promise I will do that. But yeah, 4 out of 5. Chris Stuckmann, you did amazing. Heck yeah.
Okay, sound effects.
Yes.
I love it. You did amazing. I think you are an absolute dog at directing for sure. Like camera, lighting, you got it down. Cinematography, everything. Like I said, my only thing is the script was a little iffy, but I get because of the low budget and you were trying to get it made and stuff. That's my only critiques. Derivative, the third act could have been a lot better, but it's still 4 out of 5 for sure. You can tell you love movies. The direction's amazing, man. He probably will never watch this, but I'll say it just in case. Like I said at the top of this episode, if it wasn't for you, this wouldn't exist. My page wouldn't exist. I may not even be into film right now. Like you and the Flick Pick really did have an impact because I was a young, dumb 17-year-old trying to figure out my place in the world, and I kind of found a little niche in the movie community on YouTube, and I kind of started from there. And been a decade doing. I can't believe it's been a decade I've been doing stuff like this, but it's wild. Just different iterations, of course. And yeah, so thank you for inspiring me again by showing me that it's possible. You can, if you have a dream, you can keep pushing for it and you can do it. Like, he started out YouTube and he did it. Like, he made it and it's doing well. And you made a great film, man. Like, really a great film. I loved it. We all loved it here. My friends that I saw it with that thought I was an idiot for taking them to see it loved it. Like, really great filmmaking, Chris. Shout out you. Inspired me, man. Yeah. Shelby Oaks. Great film. Go watch it if you haven't. And if you're a weirdo watching this again, and you're getting spoiled, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but I thank you for watching at the same time. And yes, go watch this. Go support it in theaters while you can. I think it's already left my theater, sadly. Which, it's a neon indie releases, especially around here and we're in my neck of the woods. Indie releases do not last long. They last like a week, 2 weeks max. You got to hurry up and run to see those A24 neon movies around here. But yeah, that's basically all I have for that. You got anything, Beyonce, you want to say? I know you got some things cooking, don't you?
I might have a few things coming. There are some reels on the way after this episode, so be on the lookout for those. Hopefully, Chris Stuckmann will find one of these reels and give all 4 of us a job. That would be sick. And I may be back for Predator Badlands. If there is a chance that anybody watches that,
I'm seeing that this weekend.
Oh yeah, that is coming out this weekend. There's a few more movies in 2025 that I would like to see. But other than that, from what I've seen all the way up until this point, man, 2025 has been a good year for movies. So shout out to Chris Stuckmann and Mike Flanagan. Thanks for keeping horror horrifying.
Yeah. Mac, do you have anything to say? You don't really. Mac is just like the guy that's like, I'm here.
What is it? Where with? No, I'm not even gonna say anything. Thanks for having me, Jacob.
He doesn't have anything to say besides.
Thank you all.
Go Bears.
The Bears.
Yes.
How about that game? Anyway.
Oh yeah, and don't forget the Craven Conventions plug.
Yeah, we're getting to that, Bella. You got anything to plug?
If I ever find time to finish editing a few more episodes, I've finished recording most of a full season of the show. So as soon as I finish editing all of that, there's gonna be a ton of releases. So
yes.
Follow me at Craven Conventions on Instagram and on Letterboxd, and I'll be posting updates when I finally get around to doing that. Yeah. Why does editing take so long? But yeah.
Editing's horrible. That's why my YouTube channel doesn't exist anymore, is because I hated editing.
It's hard.
I have an AI do it for me.
I can't even imagine editing a podcast episode. That sounds horrifying.
That does sound god awful.
I have a program called Opus Clips that does it all for me.
Love that journey for you.
Shout out that for this, because my clips would not be real if it wasn't for Deontay and then the AI. So shout out to those 2 people. We're one person and then one thing. But yeah, I'm trying to think if I have anything to plug besides the Substack. That's about it. Yeah, go follow Craven Conventions. Yeah, if you want to actually listen to actual, I always say this about it, but it's true. Actual informative more things where it's more informative and you can actually learn something and expand your mind and your brain.
We try.
I'm like the fast food. She's like the fine dining. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it goes with JFP. I'm not even gonna try to lie. JFP, we're not as, so Craven Convention, shout out them like you're not here. It's a whole group of people, like a boy band. But yeah,
they're across the sea doing something. I don't know.
Yeah, check out Craven Conventions for sure. Go follow for all the updates that she's gonna be posting. Great stuff there. Deontay is actually going to be having some things in the works that I want you guys to be watching for on his own, like doing his own thing. So I've been trying to push for. Super excited for him for that.
Oh yeah.
If Mac ever gets anything going, I'll tell you.
We're
Mac
watching
is-
you, Mac. We're watching you.
Me?
Yeah, we're watching.
What
you,
am I
Mac.
gonna do? I'm just mad.
Mac's not a content creator. He's just my JFP buddy. You know.
No, I'm just a guy. Don't make me do anything I don't want to do.
Maybe one day, Matt, we'll have Max. I was trying to think of a name for your movie stuff, but I can't. But anyway, yeah, that's about it for me. I don't have any Substack, Instagram, TikTok, Letterbox, Jacob Smith 9817 Letterbox. Even though you'll just see lists there, that's all I do is make lists. I am going to see Predator Badlands this weekend, if everything goes well. So hopefully I'll have an out of theater reaction for that, and I'm seeing another movie for sure. I try to get 2 movies in when I can. I'm gonna see Die My Love possibly.
Oh,
Oh,
That's what I'm looking at. We're actually getting that movie here. Yeah, Bugonia. I do want to see Bugonia as well. I love Yorgos Lanthimos for the most part. But I don't know, Die My Love seems more my vibe right now. You know, I love those twisted romantic type things.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think, and I love my Batman. You know, Robert Pattinson. Gotta support my boy. But yeah, I think so. Look out for out theater reactions for Die My Love, Batman. Yes,
Yes.
Batman. That's actually really good. But yeah, Die My Love and Predator Badlands out theater reactions coming probably Sunday and Monday next week, and maybe me and Deontay will do a Predator, because Predator is my franchise. I love some Predator.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's about it for me.
Thanks for everybody that tuned in.
Thank you guys. I love you.
Y'all have an amazing night.